absolutely crazy. Me? Yeah, probably.
It's okay. We're not doing a show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in Matawan, New Jersey. And, of course, broadcasting live from the Cabinet Creations Sports Desk. This bad boy is getting rave reviews. So check out cabinetcreationsnj.com, I believe. If I said that wrong, my uncle can text me, but I'm sure go to chopsportsmedia.com. It's on the bottom. It's a link. Boom. Do your cabinets, do all that stuff. They did my entire kitchen. They did my living room. They did everything. They're probably going to put an extendo on my house. So he's probably going to get contracted for that too. But anyway, good morning. What was that?
That was an extended clip.
Oh, okay. Because I thought we were talking already about what's going on in the streets, since it's such
a life, baby.
Hostile environment. So anyway, it is Sturch, it is Gooch, it is Dina behind the glass, and of course, Wrestling Rob is also in the building as well, behind the scenes in case anything breaks while we're doing this. Dina is also on that too. So obviously, the NFL, we'll get into it, but there's still more stuff going, and we're at the point, Gooch, where we're like, slow down, guys, like everything. But we wanted this. We got it. So now we have to continue to deliver. But anyway, if you want to support Chop Sports, we just nailed our 820th subscriber on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000. So if you want to spread the word, that would be glorious. And that would be wonderful. We appreciate you. But of course, if you want to do it in a monetary way, please head on over to patreon.com/Chop Sports or forward slash Chop Sports. And you can help us out. $3, $5, $10 increments. The $10 thing is going to get you involved in the baseball bingo that we're coming up with. Can't wait for that. Also, we have locked down a date for the Chop Sports BQ. Chop Sports BQ, company picnic, you name it. That's what we're doing. And it's June 26th. So, yeah, we originally had for the 19th. We realized it's the Dad's Day on June 19th. So I myself will want to be pampered and not talked to for a day. It is Father's Day after all on June 19th. So we moved it to the following week. So if you want to get down with Chop Sports, we're going to have a great old time at Merrill Park in New Jersey, in Colonia. That's the town?
In Colonia, but right. We'll call it Woodbridge.
Woodbridge area, Colonia. We're going to have a good time.
To strangers.
I'm sure Gooch is cooking up or at least will be cooking up a graphic for it with all information, details, and all that stuff. So patreon.com, YouTube, subscribe, like this video if you're watching it. Thank you so much. Okay, so first, before I get into anything, I did all that. Dat Chat just went over 300 members in that group, so I'm pumped about that. Remember, that just started literally a month and a half ago. So people are flocking over there. It's, like I said, social media feels like a Facebook group. It's not a Facebook group. There's no censors. There's no screenshots. You can't even screenshot somebody and say, I'm going to expose it. Guess what? Can't do it. So Dat Chat is the new wave of social media. I know a lot of people try different things. Remember, what was that one where we joined it just as a voice, and then Twitter took it over thing for a minute and a half. I know it still is, but boy,
is it though?
I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it's shut down. But
there's something there's creepy about the Clubhouse app.
Now there's a bit. Well, why?
It's just
what's creepy
because there's people that literally live in there.
It's Clubhouse.
How do you function in life? How are you so successful if you spend 20 hours a day in Clubhouse just networking? Do you have time to actually?
I don't know, but
when I tell you, if you've ever had an experience, anybody out there that's been on Clubhouse, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Very weird people.
Yeah.
Dat Chat is where it's at, though.
Dat Chat's where it's at. Also, yesterday we joined a shitstorm known as the Sauce Discord.
Yes.
Which, God, bro. We joined. If you're a VIP member, you're invited now to the Discord group, which is just a constant parade of live shit talking about all the bets that they made for the day. Yesterday, I went 4-4. Plus money, didn't lose any money, so that was okay. Big time cover at the end. Timberwolves were fouled at the end of the Dallas game, hit one free throw, covered the 2.5. Boom. And I was like, did that just happen? I was like, that's like this. It's almost like when Dallas was necessarily fouling them, because if they foul them and only get 2 shots, you don't give them the chance to shoot the 3. So that's why it happened. You know what I'm saying? They were down 3, they fouled them, 1 shot, bang, cover. Nailed it.
I will say on the Discord group, I'm going to be organizing it into rooms so that there's not just this constant barrage.
It's not just AJ yelling at everybody.
Start a side business right now. I just had an idea with this whole. Are
you sure you want to say it out loud because somebody will rip it and go with it?
I do because Kyle's in here and it's I'm piggybacking off of his company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm joking, tongue in cheek. I'm not actually going to do this, but
do it.
I think I was thinking about
just
starting a side business with Kyle's subscribers and being like, guys, if you have any questions that you need to ask Kyle, for $9.99 a month, I will ask him directly for you.
Oh, so like you're the source.
So I'm like the access. I'm Kyle's access.
Well, because Lord knows he can't. What?
I said, you have no idea the hell that is.
No, but
well, I was just gonna say, you've told me once upon a time that you've taken over that chat.
But for $9.99 a month, you know, I feel
you
like
too can get sauce access.
You too could get access to the sauce.
I love it
via third party.
What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? So there we go. We're doing it. So anyway, good morning, everybody, and I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Today is also a big anniversary, as Rob brought it to my attention before the show. It is the eighth anniversary of when I wrestled Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I know it's a very important, it's a very important milestone in my career. 3 weeks later, tore my ACL, was never the same since. And that was the end of my career. No, I wrestled like 1 or 2 more times after that. But yes, I did do that, and that was a fun time. And I'll tell the story one day on the Chop Heads Combat Sports podcast, which you can find right now. It's available right now. It just got released this morning, so that's out. Also, the Jimmy Palumbo show
is not up yet because there's a few extra edits. Jimmy, if you're watching, which I know you're not, he didn't even text me about his show not being up yet.
Oh, bro,
2 hours late. But there's just extra edits. He had to add commercials that
I noticed.
Took extra breaks, and I didn't have the commercials, which I do now.
I noticed. I noticed yesterday that the viewer count was down because of. Now I'm trying to think, like, what can I link that to? You know, like we had a lot of news, we had a great show, good vibe, but there was an old get off my lawn man sitting right next to us, shitting on every single thing, shitting on the tournament, shitting on everything.
I had a good time on yesterday's show.
I had a great time.
It was great.
No, it was great. It was great.
But
I'm just messing with
Jimmy. Just fucking drags everything down.
He'll be the first to tell you that. And if you want to check out Jimmy, he's actually a funny guy. He's got a stand-up comedy show coming up in Avenel, in which he's going to have it. He's already got a sold-out show, which, by the way, he said to us yesterday in the room, he's like, did you already get your tickets? I said, no, Jimmy, I'm with you. He goes, oh, I got to find out about comps. I'm like, wait a minute, time out, bro. You're telling me you're about to put on a show in my town, and I'm not comped?
I'm the staff. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm the producer of your show, bro.
Right.
You know, like
he's like, I got to get somebody to hit the record button on the camera. I got to go in there to set up our camera.
Also, if I'm not getting a free ticket, I'm just going to work.
And if we're not getting a free ticket, this camera's staying in this office, by the way. So somebody can film the whole damn thing with your cell phone.
I'm pretty sure we'll work it out.
I'm sure we will too. But in any event, so that's that. Speaking of that podcast, by the way, we're talking about combat sports. Yeah, woke up to some interesting news. Actually went to sleep with some interesting news because Tommy D had put it in our group chat that Colby got into an altercation last night. And we start with that because it is relevant because obviously these guys just fought. Relevant because I'm friends with Colby Covington and his crew, or a couple of those guys over there. And like, I wasn't happy about it when I first read about it. But there's a lot to really dissect in this entire thing. So Colby Covington was out last night with Bob Menery and the who?
The Nelk Boys.
The Nelk Boys. Legends, which, by the way, I just followed them today, and they got like 4.9 million followers. Yeah. Like, am I really behind the game?
Yeah.
Like, are they Barstool affiliates or
no? No.
So they just made it their own.
They're a very similar situation to Barstool. They're the guys that just pranked the internet for years, and they did a bunch of crazy shit. Very outside the box content, I'll call it, but funny as hell, man. These guys,
and obviously everybody knows Bob Menery from his voiceover work and his Buffalo Wild Wing spot, which I'm sure he got paid a boatload of money for.
Bob Menery, and I think the guy that started the Nelk Boys, his name is Jared. His last name is escaping me at the moment, but Steve will do it, and the whole Full Send gang, like that's all affiliated, and they're funny dudes. Depending on which side of the fence you sit on, you might not like them.
I was just going to say, when you say fence, you mean political party.
Yeah, I don't really sit on any side of the political fence, but they're funny guys.
Yeah. So anyway, so last night, Colby Covington's out with those guys. And it's funny because I saw on Instagram, Bob Menery put out a video saying like, yo, Colby's out here with the Nelk Boys. We're having a good time, blah, blah, blah. They're enjoying themselves. Next thing you know, Colby is being taped and videoed outside by himself. And we're reading that there was an altercation with him and Jorge Masvidal. Now, Masvidal's obviously from Miami, right? And all of a sudden, the King of Miami championship belt is on the line all of a sudden last night. And if you haven't seen that belt, it has been released already. And I know exactly who made it and how they made it. It was great. He didn't bring it to any of the conferences or whatever, but they should have. But anyway,
so Dan Lambert?
No, it was not Dan Lambert. They actually fucking hate each other at this point. But I'm looking at the situation and I'm saying this. At first, you look at it on the surface and you're saying, bitch move. For
I
Masvidal
have so many thoughts on this
to hunt him down and find out where he is. First of all, that's premeditated. That's illegal. Ask Officer Payne. I'm sure he's in the chat.
I wish I had the drop. That's fucking illegal.
Right.
Does anybody know the drop?
That's
$1. This is a Jimmy Palmo joke. I'll send you $1 for the first person that comments where that's from.
That's fucking illegal.
That's fucking illegal.
Damn, I don't know. But maybe it'll come to me. I don't know. But anyway, so this fight altercation goes down. There's no video of the actual fight, thank God. Because Lord knows what just happened. What? You got it?
No, well,
you got it. You said it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the altercation happens. Colby's filmed outside the nightclub or wherever they were, the restaurant. Hi, it is. There it is. Dana White said. Yeah, Dana White said it.
Oh, Tommy, you're. Yeah,
Come on,
Tommy, I'm not giving you a shit.
Wow. All right. So he ruined the joke.
He knows he's on the MMA show. That when I was doing the drops on the MMA show, that was one of the drops.
Oh, all right.
That's fucking illegal.
So anyway, so the altercation happens. Colby's filmed outside. Bob Menery comes running outside in this video and says, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you thinking right now? And you can hear Colby, and I don't like to hear this, but like again, he goes, how did he know where I was? And Bob Menery came back and said, you're on the internet, bro. You're all over the internet.
Yeah. So my take on this.
Okay. I was just gonna say that's not really. He says you're all over the internet, but that's not where I'm going with this. Like, yes, Colby Covington is a promoter. He promotes his own brand. He does amazing things on his marketing team. Got a lifetime subscription to Bang, I'm sure. He's got all these things, but he never tells anybody where he is. He never goes online.
Elaborate on what a lifetime
probably a
subscription
bunch
to Bang
of people there
means.
recording him and posting it.
The Bang energy drink.
Right,
He's like
right.
that's what I meant. Sorry. But like, what'd you say there, Dean? I'm sorry.
I said there was probably a bunch of people in there recording him.
That's exactly what happened. So what? Or this is Bob Menery's fault. Menery went on and he has the whole thing like, yo, we're out here today with Colby Covington. So now you're exposing Colby Covington for where he is.
Look, I have a question.
That's garbage.
Colby Covington is a
scared,
top
though?
3 fighter in the world at his weight class, and he's in the UFC, right? If I'm out with Colby, the last thing that I'm worried about is being rushed by thugs, right? I understand that his Masvidal situation and he's in Miami, but I'm not going to be like, yo, is it okay if I let people know? Like, you're a fighter, dude. Like, you live this. This is what you do. You ran your mouth. I think that he knew what the ramifications possibly were. So if Colby didn't go up to Menery and say, don't post anything out that you're with me on the internet, then I'm really not going to put it on Menery. As well as the fact that I think that Masvidal lives in Miami. I know he does. There's a potential chance that somebody 3 tables away that knows Jorge.
So yeah, what Dina was saying.
Was like, fucking, this guy's here, yo. I'm going to hit up my boy Jorge and let him know. That's just how shit works.
But that's like, that's high school shit.
Look,
that's high school
I understand.
shit.
And I'm going to start off by saying this. I think that Masvidal is wrong, right? But at the same time, this is the guy that he is. And Colby knew that going into the situation. It's very corny that at 36 years old, you're looking for somebody and you're jumping them outside in the street. That's not how grown men operate, at least grown men that value their freedom. Now, Masvidal, I'm not so sure completely values his freedom. I know he's a rich man now, so he doesn't want to go to jail. But I don't think Colby's going to press charges, A. And B, this is the type of guy that he is. And knowing that, going into the fight and going into all the shit talking, you're talking about somebody's kids. Look, there's a shred of
in like, that regard. In that
you knew
regard,
what you were getting yourself into here.
But here's the thing: in that regard, if you talk shit about my family, my kids, anybody that I love, I will rip your throat out. That's if you come across me. So if I'm out and you walk in my line of sight, then I'm like, oh, that mother effer. That's the guy who talked about my kids. Then I'll go yoke him up.
Yeah.
But not the whole, hey, let's find out where he is. Oh, okay, I'm on the road. I'm here. I'm outside. As soon as he steps outside, it's on. Like, that's high school shit, and that's garbage. And you know what, Masvidal, Mr. Gamebred, Mr. Street Judas, you had your chance. You had your chance to yoke up Colby in the cage, and you couldn't do it. You caught him once, twice, maybe, put him down to a knee. Colby kicked your ass, bro.
Stimmy OG with the fucking comment of the day. Who the hell gets baptized on a Monday? Stimmy, always. He's like a 10 out of 10 in the comments every single time he drops.
So here's the thing, though. Right. And Kyle's coming in. He said, what grown men in their 30s get into a street fight? Exactly.
I'll tell you who.
Jorge Masvidal.
Street Jesus, Jorge Masvidal. That's the guy who does. I mean,
But now,
he
and
made a
Mark
name
came
for
in.
himself in street
Mark
fights.
came in and said, it sounds like a WWE storyline, and Kyle's following up and saying exactly. Look, they don't need to sell a second fight. Like this, the
Nobody
second
wants
fight.
to watch a second fight.
Nobody wants to see that.
How about
Colby
this? I
touched
wanna
him up.
see
It's
a
over.
second fight even less now.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to see a second fight, I'd like to see the footage of this fight. That's about all I'd care
If
about
somebody
right
comes
now.
up with the footage of this fight, sell that
So-
on UFC.
So I will. We do have to touch on the aftermath now, because there was the Colby aftermath, which was a video that he shouldn't have been in front of because it wasn't necessarily.
Oh, Jesus
his
Christ.
choice.
But I'm sorry, but Pain with the streets are different animal than
He's not wrong.
No, I
He is
know, but
not
like
wrong.
I can hear his voice saying it like in a very
And
slow
I think
monotone.
Colby knows that. And
The streets are
here's
different.
I'm going to say a couple things here. First things first is that Colby made comments about, Jorge, he doesn't do this shit 24/7. I do this shit 24/7, right? And he was talking about the fact that he trains to fight 24/7. He stays in shape. Masvidal goes to fight camp and he gets back into shape for his fight. But you know what he does in those other months? He does this shit, right? So this is the life that he doesn't stop living. And that's what you have to deal with when you deal with a guy like Masvidal, Nate Diaz. I have a hard time giving Masvidal a hard, talking shit about him in this regard, because I'm a big Nate Diaz fan and this is how these guys operate. I understand the element of they're too old now, but look, this is the fight game, bro. It's a very different set of rules between a 35-year-old fighter and a 35-year-old dad who's dropping his kid off at school. Like, clearly Masvidal doesn't care about
I don't know if that was a
kids.
dig on dads, but I'm not sure.
No, it's not. I'm saying,
Sorry, Dad.
I'm saying that I'm saying that, you have different responsibilities. Like, his responsibility is to get as much money in his next fight, and doing shit like this is what got him to the point he's at in his career. So you can't really change now. He kind of painted himself into a corner. If anything, the corniest thing that Masvidal has done in the last 3 years was get that fucking tattoo.
What
Right?
tattoo?
The one of him kneeing Askren.
He
It's the
has that
corniest
tatted
thing.
on his
It
body.
looks like the Infinity Stones.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
But
It's
no,
ridiculous.
he was sleeping.
I was what? I was. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was sleeping.
I was sleeping.
What does that
Rob
even
from deep.
mean, bro?
It means that you were not coherent and you were not with us
I
by the
was
time
sleeping.
the Colby fight. Yeah.
What do you mean by the time the Colby? I watched the Colby fight vividly. Okay, fine, but the whole he was sleeping, bro.
No, that was just a funny dig. I think.
wow. Shit. you kidding
So
me, bro?
The next thing that I wanted to say was that I saw Jorge's face after the fight.
You looked like you got
Masvidal
touched up.
at 12:07. The fight took place at around 11:13 Eastern Standard Time, 11:13 p.m. By 12:07, which was less than an hour later, you had Masvidal on his social media, Twitter, which I guess nobody told him how to tweet because he added Colby to start it.
Oh, that means
So
it's
it went
only going to
It
him.
didn't go into the
Ah,
Twitterverse. It
silly,
went just
silly rookie
directly to
mistake.
Colby, but it did gain traction immediately anyway, obviously. And it was basically the show your face challenge. He said, look, if you get into a street fight in my city, what you got to do is go on the internet and show your face next. Because rumor has it that Colby got his brand new tooth knocked out.
I mean, brand new tooth.
Well, that was the whole joke that Masvidal
Oh,
said,
yeah, new
your
teeth,
teeth
yeah.
are fake news. Your teeth are fake
I
news.
don't buy that for a second.
Wait,
but-
you don't buy what? That he got his tooth knocked out?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see.
let's see it.
Oh, by the way, nobody's gonna see it, so he'll get that shit fixed in his house if that's the case. But anyway, this whole thing is crazy. I don't like the situation at all. I think it's garbage. I think it was Bush League. Even Kyle came in saying if this was actually some gangster shit, he should have came up, strapped, robbed him, took his jewelry, and left. Not like, let's wrestle.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't
Like,
have. Then,
what are
but-
we doing
But
here?
then he wouldn't have been able to get another fight in the UFC, and that's what this is all about. Like, first of all,
I'm a hammer.
Masvidal and Colby might be like, yo, I'm gonna be at Appy's later. Why don't you come run
You
up on
can't
me?
say this was staged, bro.
Woo! I can. 'cause
I mean, you
just
can, and you
I
just
don't
did, but-
necessarily believe it's staged.
No.
But
Earl Roberts
I
did.
wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
All right.
I'm
not
not saying
surprised,
that the fights are
motherfucker.
staged, but the lead ups are definitely staged a lot of times.
Listen, man, Masvidal had his chance. If he was angry and distraught about what Colby said about him and his family, he had his chance. He was locked in a cage for 25 fucking minutes to get it done. Couldn't get it done. Now we're gonna find out. Yo, man, he's at the club, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get him
That's
now.
what he did for his job. Right?
Street rules.
That's what he did for his job. He went and got paid, and I understand he took the L in that one.
So what
and he
are we
understands-
doing? Like, why are we going into the cage to get paid and not actually try to win?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of times when you cross certain lines, guys are like, okay, you want to sell a fight. That's one thing. But now you're calling me a piece of shit father. You're talking shit about my
That was
kids.
all pre-fight.
Understood, right?
But
But
you can't.
you
the
can't do
same
certain things in the cage that you would like to do to somebody that talks shit about your family.
Gouge his eyes out and shit, kick him in the
Knock his
dick a couple
tooth
times.
out, knock his tooth out.
Oh,
knock his
Christ,
tooth out,
Christ,
knock
Christ,
his
Christ.
tooth out.
Anyway, so that's our take on all this. But Kyle says, I'm not saying it was staged, but if Masvidal actually wanted to hurt Colby, why not bring a
Bro, he
weapon,
brought
bring a
3
pipe
piece
or
in a
something?
soda.
Because that's assault, brother.
There you go. That's a great
He brought him
drop
a
there,
3-piece in
Dina.
a soda.
That's assault, brother. Absolutely. Oh, boy. Bailey's saying coming in, he's vouching for you. He's saying, I agree with Chris is saying.
So
Listen.
me and Baby Gap and Bailey fucking.
Yeah, you're like a fucking tag team now. He's mending the friendship.
Yeah.
He actually put in a trademark. I know there's already Baby Gap, the actual store, but he actually he's putting in for a trademark somehow, some way. It'll be a thing.
Okay.
It'll be a thing. So Bailey's working overtime for Chop Sports, according
yes,
to
Kyle, it's definitely assault, but
it is.
like
The
I
drop
said,
wouldn't work if I
the
didn't
police
say it
aren't
that
gonna. It's not like he raped or murdered somebody. Like you're gonna have to have Colby press charges in this case. Colby, you can't press charges.
Yeah, he will not. Colby
You
will
can't.
not.
Do it.
You can't
There's
because then he
no
will just be the
way.
And
There's-
assault with a deadly weapon is much worse, Kyle.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, just to be clear, any UFC fighter that strikes
hands,
somebody, it can
yeah.
technically be considered a deadly weapon.
Truth be told. All right. So yesterday, where was I? I was running an errand. I was shipping out actually one of the Chop Sports pause hoodies to our friends over in Texas, Dallas, Texas, by the way, shout out. But I was out there when this happened. Matt Ryan all of a sudden is a gonzo. He's no longer with Atlanta, which is, to me, I feel like, I don't know, man. Like for somebody like when somebody sticks with a team for this long, Matt Ryan, I believe, has been there for 11 years, if I'm not mistaken. 14 years with one team. Okay. So 14 years with one team. And you know what? Let's get a third for you. And that's it. It's over.
Well,
no restructure, no nothing, no attempt at that. They feel like they're
deal. You don't think a third is good for Matt Ryan?
I don't think they should be trading Matt Ryan. If you were in a win now mode, which I know the Falcons aren't that great of a team and they don't have a good assembled team.
I'll say like getting a third for him is a good deal, but the fact that I was expecting it to just be a salary move, but apparently according to Rob's info or Field Yates, $40 million cap hit for the Falcons. Biggest in league history by $7 million. So that's the confusing part. Getting a third is all good. Trading Matt Ryan at this point, so you're
Julio trading him, but you're paying him anyway.
Ridley basically gone.
You're paying for him.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused by it. I just think that they maybe don't believe in Matt Ryan. And there's also another thing where Arthur Smith was Mariota's offensive coordinator at
Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
His rookie year, yeah.
For 6 games that Mariota started. So
now,
maybe there's a little history.
Rob
there.
also pulled up some stats here, comparing him to the former quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, that being Carson Wentz, now Commander Carson over in Washington. The QBR, this was last year's stats, bro, or is this career?
Last
year's stats. Okay, so QBR was 46, and Wentz actually had a better QBR. Completion percentage went to Matt Ryan, 67 to 62. The yards per drop back was dead even, 6.1. The touchdown to interception ratio, Ryan with a 20 and 12, Wentz with a 27 and 7.
Do you know what numbers I want to see?
Well, the QBR was lowest last year.
How many times Matt Ryan was pressured last year? Because I'm not sure that
that whole team was in disarray last year.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was probably running for his life a little bit. The Colts offensive line is much better. And look, I know that it seems like it's a lateral move in terms of where Matt Ryan has been in his career, but Matt Ryan is a former league MVP. You have to assume that he's going to be able to at least manage the offense.
Hold on. Rube coming in. And I only get to his comment real quick because it looks like he had to pull over just to type this. The Falcons keeping Ryan would have been doing a disservice to him and them.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. Well,
it was a situation. Look, it's maybe what the Saints should have done with Drew Brees a little bit sooner. It's what the Colts did with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but do you think Matt Ryan was actually I think I was just going to say Big Ben, I felt like was holding that offense back and holding him hostage based off his skill of play. I still think Matt Ryan can kind of sling it. No,
yeah, Matt Ryan's not.
But I mean, the Colts seem to think so.
So at year 14, you don't think Matt Ryan's ecstatic right now about getting traded to a contender? Granted, he's going over to the AFC, which is another quarterback in the AFC. NFC, it's like, who we dealing with now? It's like Super Bowl. Packers are in the Super Bowl. Sorry.
Steven Doucette, man. Matt Ryan made someone quit and blame it on mental illness. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is hilarious. But Matt Ryan's clearly a better player than Carson Wentz this day, that day, or any other day. That's how I'm looking
Is
at
Matt
it. So
Ryan
it is an improvement for the Colts.
where would you rank Matt Ryan in the AFC South right now? You have Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Sunshine in Jacksonville, and whoever the fuck is the quarterback for the Texans this coming year.
Matt Ryan
Is better than Tannehill, you would say, right?
I mean,
Stats are not going to say that. We get that part.
Look, very similar team, very similar. Like that's going to be probably the matchup that we're going to get to enjoy this year. That'll be for the division. I'm going to have to say that Matt Ryan is a better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill, but right now it's probably you got to give the nod to Tannehill over the last 3 years, no doubt. But Matt Ryan on that team, I think he could have.
Remember a year with Michael Pittman Jr. There's been there's sources have leaked that Leonard is out there recruiting Julio to come over to the Colts to reunite with Matt Ryan. So that would be cool in that regard. Rube coming back in, but the Falcons suck. They couldn't win. The Colts can compete because they're in a double. They have a great running game too. One of the best running games or at least running backs in football. The Colts could be very good, and I think the Colts will be better with Matt Ryan over Carson Wentz.
The Colts are definitely a better team. I don't know if they lost anybody. They've had a lot of money for the last 2 years. So yeah, the Colts
they traded away. They just got the Ngakoue from the Raiders.
And they also just got Matt Ryan for basically free.
Well, third round pick isn't free, but
yeah, but the third round pick is
you can find some value
free.
in the third round.
I think it's a great deal to get a third round pick, but the fact of the money is what I'm talking about. If the Falcons are paying that contract, then they got him for free in terms of salary.
Truth. Okay. In that regard, yes. Kyle coming back in saying Jacksonville takes the AFC South. Don't at me. Okay. Well, that's a nice little bold prediction there for you.
Wow, Kyle, I know that you've been dick riding the Colts for like the better part of
I know. I'm very disappointed here.
But why though?
Scoop being happy. He's the resident Jags fan, pretty much the only Jags fan that I know outside of like my friend Jess and my chiropractor, which is John Segretti of the Kingdom Fitness Performance Center, which is hopefully opening soon.
I need someone to chiropractic the shit out of my back.
No, he'll do that.
Bro.
He's good. He's got magic hands. He'll crush you. I knew you were going to do that. God forbid. We're in 2022.
If anybody else knows a chiropractor, I do not want anything. No, I'm kidding. Magic hands, John over here.
Bailey McClurg coming back in saying, I feel like we've been saying the Colts should be good for the last 3 years. Nothing has come from it. I look at the quarterback situation the entire time. You had Carson Wentz. Before that, who was before that? Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that as good as Matt Ryan can be for them.
Oh, Rivers for a year.
As good as Matt Ryan can be for them, I feel like we might be saying the exact same thing after the season. It's going to be like the Colts. They have what it takes. But then when you look across the country and you see the AFC West, and then you see the Bills, the Colts, while better, they're going to be very.
I just can't believe they got AFC got another guy. Like, it's just like, it doesn't end. But an AFC guy did go to the NFC, and the Falcons' solve to this was Marcus Mariota. So Mariota signs with the Atlanta Falcons. This is his second chance at glory here, man, and probably his last. You know what I mean? Like, he starts with the Titans, gets shipped over to Oakland, Vegas, whatever, and now this might be his last go at it. Do you think, in your opinion, I think the Falcons sit at 8. Do you think they still draft the quarterback, or is Mariota going to be the stopgap until they find somebody else? Because I don't know. Like, Mariota's still young, but
he's getting money. Whereas if they made him the backup, they're in good position anyway, because he's getting backup quarterback money. He's getting fringe starter backup quarterback money, prove it deal. I'm sure that there's a chance for him to make a lot more money in incentives. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the details of the contract. You said it was 2 years.
Oh, Mariota's right here. The 2 years, $18.75 million.
2 years, yeah. So even if he loses the starting, he's going into this season as the starting quarterback. If they draft a quarterback, if they maybe come into one next offseason, then they compete and he loses the job, then him being the backup is not a big deal. And it might be his last chance at glory, but I think we could agree that Mariota is a top 64 quarterback in the world, right? So he's going to be an NFL player going forward. I think it's a great situation for him. In case all things don't work out with Mariota, they could always just put Cordarrelle Patterson at QB because he does everything else for them. Who was it that mentioned his tweet? Was it you yesterday? Funny ass tweet. He was like, I guess I'm just going to play quarterback now.
I'm just warming up my arm.
Does everything else.
It's the little kid from the Cam commercial. Yeah. So that's interesting to say the least. Another quarterback stays within that same division, Jameis Winston, and of course his biggest stan of his Instagram account, Chris Gucci. Jameis Woodson staying in Nolans. So he's getting, I don't know the details of that. Yes,
it's
I
also
do.
very
2 years,
28 mil.
28 million, 21 of it guaranteed. He can make up to 4.4 in incentives. But last year, look, he was slinging it like he was a decent quarterback last year. So we'll see if that's the direction the Saints want to go in. That's great.
The Eagles are not a playoff team if Jameis Winston doesn't get hurt. That's my take. Winston.
That's not a hard take to.
They were in a good spot. I think that they were hovering above 500. They actually beat the Bucs in the game that Winston went down in, and they really just lost 5 in a row after that. So they were. In the beginning, they were just alternating good week, bad week, good week, bad week, good week, and then Winston got hurt, and it was all shit.
Bad. And because they couldn't find a quarterback, they decided, so resigning Jameis Winston. What the fuck are they doing with that big ass contract with Taysom Hill? Like, what are you doing? Get rid of that guy, man. He's a gadget dude. He's a Tim Tebow.
That contract had everything to do with salary cap gymnastics and signing bonuses. And
I get it, but it's just like
what I have to really look at
the
Saints salary cap situation and really understand what the fuck they were doing with Taysom Hill, because everyone lauds this guy as one of the, the best GMs in terms of manipulating the cap, which if you look at their roster, I guess you could say they've done that, but now they're in a really bad spot. They were able to at least bring Winston back, which is good news for them because I am a big Jameis Winston. I think he's a top 20 quarterback.
Now, staying on quarterbacks before we get over to running back who signed. Now with Winston going back, Mariota going to Atlanta, Ryan going to Indy. Look, there's only so many places for Baker Mayfield to land.
And Jimmy G.
Jimmy G right now is the starting quarterback of the 49ers. He hasn't been moved.
I understand, but there was supposedly a deal in place with the Colts.
And now that's over.
And that went to shit once the Falcons announced that they would trade Matt Ryan.
So here's my hypothetical, right? So Baker Mayfield probably has 2 spots left. And I'm thinking Carolina and I'm thinking Seattle. But Seattle just made this trade with Russell Wilson. They got Drew Lock. So maybe they have something for Drew Lock. Maybe they have something.
They're definitely going to kick the tires on Drew Lock, even if Baker Mayfield is in town.
So my question is this. Are we looking at an NFL season upcoming where Baker Mayfield is not a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yes.
I mean, Houston, I feel like they're in on Davis Mills still. He had a great second half. And when I say great, he didn't win any games, but he played competent football.
A lot, and they did win some games. They beat the Titans or they beat the Colts.
I'm just saying. I think it's not out of the realm of possibilities that we may have seen the last of Baker Mayfield. Like, that's insane to think about.
I'm not surprised by that. I've kind of called that for a while.
We've all been kind of saying that,
but starting caliber quarterback, and I think he's an even worse leader. And I don't really say that lightly.
Wow. All right.
It's not for me to decide how he's leading. But just based off of the way his teammates look at him, I don't know.
A rumor,
language-wise.
Chris Payne, look that up just because I want to see if there's any source to that. Payne said there's rumors of Baker to Tampa because as the heir apparent to a Tom Brady. You want to fix your career, Baker. Go learn under the best that ever do it.
One of the most calculated great leaders in history to what I think is the opposite. I think Baker's a garbage leader. I think he's an annoying guy, and I think that resonates throughout the clubhouse or the locker room.
It's so crazy though. Like if he was all those things, right? Not a leader, shitty person, just weirdo. I'm so surprised that like real big companies invested a lot of money into this guy as far as like sponsorships and shit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he's not the guy that everybody. Look, guys like Colin Cowherd get out here on their high horse every day and talk shit.
Birthday party.
Right. He could be a Bo Callahan, which is, I love that reference. And he's from Cleveland. He's a Browns. Which, by the way, it is draft season after all.
Taking the fucking linebacker.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Dude, we said it. No matter what.
Who was the linebacker that went? Probably a stud.
Who's the guy they drafted? Vontae Mack. Vontae Mack, no matter what.
I'm talking about in real life.
Oh.
Like instead of Baker.
If they didn't draft Baker first.
If Baker is Bo Callahan, who was the Vontae Mack in that draft?
Oh, look, I want to look that up myself, actually, just because I'm curious. So Baker Mayfield draft. Yeah, I know, but we're looking for the Vontae Mack. Yeah, 2018 draft. Here we go. So
only one Vontae.
Lamar Jackson was drafted in that.
So here we go. Baker. All right. So Baker, Saquon, Darnold, Denzel Ward also went to Cleveland. Here we go. Ready? Bradley Chubb. That was the guy. I mean, I don't know how his career is going to play out, but look, he's not for nothing, but the Cleveland Browns.
He's better than Baker.
I believe so too. The Cleveland and Roquan Smith went that draft too, right after him. Man, I mean, a lot of I still can't get over the 10th pick, Josh Rosen.
So is Baker Mayfield now entering if he is no longer a starter before the end of his rookie contract as the number 1 pick overall, already given up on They traded for another guy. Like, so clearly Baker has been given up on.
Is he Josh Rosen?
Is he? Yeah, I mean, is he Josh Rosen or is he? He's a bust. Clearly, no matter which way you look at it.
Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated kind of sucks, man. Nobody's giving that shit. No way. So Rob just said he's off mic right now, but Rob just said that the Browns want a first-round pick for Baker Mayfield. Get the fuck out of here. No shot. See, that I would almost contemplate because he's a game manager.
So Jimmy
G's asking price is 2 seconds.
Okay, so it's like Baker for a first. I wouldn't give up 2/3 for Baker, let alone a first. I wouldn't give up anything for Baker. I'm gonna be like, guys, you're gonna pay him first pick overall money to fucking.
Do you think we live in a world where Baker Mayfield could be released?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I got to look at the contract.
They just signed another quarterback. Cleveland.
How much guarantee?
I'm pretty sure they traded away.
If they release Baker, what's the cap hit?
No, but not even that. But I'm trying to think of who they just signed. Somebody. They just signed somebody else. Jacoby Brissett. Right. So they have their backup plan in the event and when Deshaun Watson gets suspended, they need a backup quarterback capable of running the offense. They clearly don't even want Baker in that mix. So the cap hit has to be
maybe
ridiculous.
They signed Jacoby Brissett to be Baker's backup for 6 games.
And you got to assume that the Texans don't want him because he would have been involved in the trade package, right?
Yeah, we're 100%. Yeah, the Texans are out. It really comes down to Seattle. Good movie. Comes down to Seattle and
Carolina. And Carolina. Well, no, they got Jared Goff. I don't think Jared Goff's any good. That's their guy, and that's all the money's invested in. And I think the dead cap money of that would supersede Matt Ryan out the ass. Like totally. You know what's funny? I heard it on the way in here today. That if Kyler Murray doesn't get it done this year, Kyler Murray is going to move into the Baker Mayfield area.
I feel like
he's not there yet.
He's like
still electric. He can still move.
He's more talented, but as far as the leadership goes, I could put him in the same realm.
Another Bo Callahan? Another one? Who? Okay. All right. So Rob came in. I have to keep reminding people that Rob's off camera, off mic. But yeah, no, I mean, John Dorsey is the GM of the Lions.
Going to the Browns and then getting traded to the Lions. Like, oh, yeah, I played for the 2 worst fucking teams ever.
Well, imagine being Jared Goff. I get traded to the Lions and then I get replaced by Baker Mayfield. Like that right there. That would send me into a tailspin, jump off a bridge type shit.
They're going to pay me $20 million to get replaced? Fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's all about
Jared Goff is making a bag right
Steven Doucette coming in with a prediction saying Baker gets traded at mid-season. But I can't see the Browns going into this season with 3 guys. I can't see it.
Baker is not on the Browns by the end of this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm heading over to overthecap.com. It's my go-to, one of my go-tos for cap things, all things cap related. So let me just look at Baker Mayfield right now. A cut pre-June, there will be no cap savings. If they designate him as a post-June cut, no cap savings. There's nothing there. There's no saving of any money, but there is an 18.5 dead money hit if he decides to cut him right now. So
basically what's going to happen is they're just going to make it as awkward as possible if he doesn't get traded. So
they could trade him and save $18 million.
So in other words, if you went up to the Browns right now and you were like, yo, we'll kick you in the nuts if you let us take Baker Mayfield, they'd be like, fine. Like there's nothing that you could, the Browns have 0 leverage whatsoever. First round pick. What? Not going to happen. You're not even going to get a 4th.
Baker. Poor Baker.
Because there's no suitors.
I say poor Baker, but nobody seems to like
What
him.
are you going to do? Are you going to fake like that the Panthers and the Seahawks are like
chomping at the
bit over here and like, we'll give you a second. No, we'll give you a first. No, nobody's doing that for Baker. There's no market.
And then out of nowhere, Kevin Costner comes back. I want my picks. I want all of them.
Because guess what?
I'm all back right now.
What? There's 2 spots left. And there's 2 quarterbacks available, and one guy wins and one guy doesn't. One guy is for 2 seconds, and one team wants a first.
Yeah, well, it's interesting little market for Baker Mayfield. I guess we'll have to wait and see because guys are still shifting money around.
I will say this: the 49ers aren't trading Jimmy G to Seattle.
Very true.
Like So maybe Jimmy G goes to Carolina,
Or
Jimmy
maybe
G
G's just the quarterback of the
doesn't
Niners.
leave. Like I mean, like I
And
said
then
that
Trey Lance.
I said that
was
after
a
the season.
bust.
Like it's just there's no guarantee that they're going to move off of Jimmy G.
I didn't say. Look, they got to the playoffs. They beat Dallas. They beat Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? So they beat teams in the playoff. They went on a run with Jimmy G as their quarterback. Apparently, a hurt Jimmy G.
And Jimmy G has no ego. I know he wants to play, but he's been a backup in the league before. And just by judging the way he runs an offense, Jimmy G doesn't really have an ego.
He's an Alex Smith.
He checks down a lot. He checks down a lot. He hands, a lot of the things that he's doing, he's giving options and he's just sticking with the run because it's what's there. A lot of quarterbacks want to fling it and throw the ball around the field. He's okay with handing it off. So maybe he'll be okay with being a backup.
Daniel Grasso, another great line from that movie. You pancake eating motherfucker. This is so good. By the way, it is draft season, ladies and gentlemen. So that movie will be on my house, in my house multiple times throughout the next
not
quarter.
be on in mine.
No, definitely not. You'll be watching fucking another British sitcom or whatever the fuck you do. What is that?
Top Boy got me fucking smacking my
Top
lips.
Boy.
It's like a.
Remember, Top Boy is also a show that you should be watching in the confines of your own home, according to Jimmy
If
Palumbo.
anybody has watched Top Boy, you know what I'm talking about. That show
What
is
streaming
really
service is
good.
it on?
Netflix.
Did you hear about Netflix like penalizing people now for letting people use their passwords somehow? I don't know how they're going to do it, but
There's going to be a higher charge for multiple IPs using the same password.
son of a bitch. That's how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
She must be an internet whiz over here. She must know things about the internet.
Well, it's not going to charge me because I don't use mine. So
Yeah, well,
whoever's out there, whoever's password I'm using, which it's my brother's. So he
So
owes
you know
me
what's funny?
He owes me money anyway.
funny,
Carl,
quick.
talking to you.
Wait,
bud.
Carl owes you money? Go on. Like, stop that. No, the funny side story, and I'm just messing. I don't know what Carl's financial situation is, so I have no
this
idea.
is like I put the money out.
I
for
think
his
there's multiple times you've definitely told me that. Yes, you like front and then he pays back up front and
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
back.
It's for like
It's a
pool
brother thing, that's
situation,
fine.
Yeah, it's-
But anyway, so it's a quick side story. So speaking of Netflix, I had the original, like, what was it, $8, $9, whenever the hell it first came out. Then it went up to like 11, and I was like, oh, this is kind of stupid, right? So then all of a sudden, I'm trying to watch Netflix, and it's saying like 2 users are on at the same time, and I'm like, oh, well, it says to upgrade this service, do this now. If not, don't. And I'm like, I'm not doing that, right? Next thing you know, the next month I get a bill. It's like $15. And I'm like, what the fuck? And if it turns out that my sister-in-law just went on the account and said, yeah, we'll upgrade. And I'm like, it's my account. Right? So here I am. And now we're at like $20 now with Netflix. And now you're telling me there's going to be an upcharge for people using my, dude, people always like cut the cord on cable, right? People pay more in streaming services now than ever before. Was that the ploy the whole time? Cut the cord on cable. Stop saving money. You're paying 20 here, 5 here, 10 here, 15 here, bundle over here, 13. It's all going to wind up being $100 anyway.
Well, you got to just stay on top of
Dad
it.
rant.
You don't need.
What was that?
Dad rant.
Come on. Fucking dad rant. Stop that shit.
No, the whole wave is even if you get hit with those extra fees, you just got to be like, you got to get your conglomerate together. You got to be like, you got Netflix, I got Hulu, you got fucking Disney Plus.
My dad has
Amazon.
all the streaming services. Didn't know he has them. I was like, yeah, they're all mine, Dad. I used to live here. So they're,
right.
they're all mine. So what you're watching, I'm paying
So
for
everybody pays
But
for
as if
one,
like I can't
and
say
if
that.
you incur any extra IP address costs, then
I'm
you
not
just
about to
fucking pay it.
I'm not about to sit here and
bills.
listen. I'm not about to sit here and tell you guys. I'm like, Dad, come on, man, give me my $10. Like my dad, I was raised real good. You know what I mean? So I can't sit there. I'm like, you owe me money, Dad. Like, no shot.
Also,
If anything,
Dad,
I owe him like
also,
$100
Dad,
grand, and I don't know
also,
about
Dad, Venmo me that $13 that you owe me. I need all my money.
it. Yeah, you got to pay me back for the desk.
TMI, Dave.
Sorry.
TMI.
We have comments blowing up. By the way, Ashley came in before, said her sister owes her so much money. So it's a
family
sibling thing. Yeah, of course. And it's unfortunate she also won't see you until Saturday. So baby day is not till Saturday this week. We got to adjust the fucking sign now. Like, what are we doing here? It was all set up for Friday. So anyway, what was the Top Boy?
Top Boy is a show
Go
that I
reverse.
watch on Netflix.
Reverse. All right. So
Love.
more NFL real quick. Playoff Lenny. Leonard Fournette signs his deal. He's back. He's running it back with Tom Brady. 3-year deal, $21 million. I'm not sure about the guarantee, but he did visit the Patriots. So Bill Belichick was not able to woo him. And you know what? Lenny probably asked him like, yo, Bill, was that whole text thing real? And then he's like, oh, this is as real as it gets. Like, all right, cool, I'm out. He just leaves town, goes back to Tampa Bay for a nice little deal.
Yeah,
there.
I think that was the writing was on the wall here. You're going to start to see all this type of shit happen. You're going to see who else is coming back to Tampa. we got the graphic coming up. We got the graphic coming up. Are we ready for it? Do we have the Edelman graphic?
Yeah.
Not, it's coming. Yeah, Edelman was
You want it
seen.
now?
Yeah,
Sure.
might as well, because we're talking about the Tampa Bay, the Brady effect of what goes on in Tampa. They're losing Antonio Brown, so they need the extra overkill wideout.
There's
and
no
who's
way.
better than to bring in Julie. You don't think Julian Edelman's coming back?
Mm-mm.
I will bet.
Nope.
Bro, did you watch the video?
I saw the video.
And did you see the caption?
What? No, what did it say?
It said this has always been the best thing to get for cardio. They made it tongue in cheek, like he's only working out, like he's running routes with Tom Brady for cardio.
It's not coming back.
The fuck? There's a treadmill at Planet Fitness.
Not coming back.
You want to bet?
No, but I just don't think he's coming back.
100%.
He might be living his best life right now, not playing football. So just saying.
Yeah,
Chris.
I bet you.
Chris,
can bet.
long comment here. And for the selection that Netflix offers, they have some balls charging that, and they don't even shave those balls with the Manscaped LED weed whacker. Chris, it's
Yeah.
over.
Also, fuck Manscaped.
No. Why did you do
Well, now it's really over.
Do they owe us anything?
No, I don't owe us anything. I was trying to get him back as a sponsor, but now,
good thing they're not watching.
no.
right?
Oh man, damn it.
Oh, shut up. Do you really want to get them back right now? I feel like I have a
I mean, Kyle's got a beef with Manscaped. Why do we have to have a beef with Manscaped?
because of the way I was treated.
How are you treated? They gave you a free shaver and ball cream and all that shit for your taint jungle.
there
Which,
was-
by the way, my dad said taint jungle at the dinner table the other day and threw us all for a loop.
There is no there's no communication. I feel like we've been we'll talk.
Oh boy,
I
Oh,
feel
man.
like I should be able to speak freely, and also
It is our podcast and
Yeah,
our
and-
show,
and
yes, and
also,
our
like,
YouTube show.
in I was kind of joking about how I was going to give my real thoughts on the whole situation, and I don't know, I found it that it was disrespectful that we've been doing their reads for them,
Mhm.
and we actually had people going to use their code and it wasn't working.
So it's because it ran out. We were a month trial.
And at a certain point, I felt like there should have been an email involved to let us know.
That fair.
You know what I
There
mean?
should have been
Because
some
I
kind
think
of
it's a bad look.
notification
It's a
to let
bad
us
look.
know.
We do a live read. People are actually enjoying the live read. I thought it was good content for them,
I think so too.
and they pulled the rug out from underneath me, and now I lost my taint.
Which rug was it?
Forever.
Was it the carpet from Aladdin?
It was the one. Well, it was. But you
There
know
it
what? The
goes.
thing about the carpet from Aladdin, they pulled it out from underneath me before I hit the ground. It fucking saved me. Right? I didn't even hit the ground. It just came right back because
Fucking
that's what
thing.
I
carpet
can
does, bro.
show you the world. All right. Scoop coming in saying, if you're not using your trimmer, can I get it?
Yeah.
He wants the used trimmer. That is goddamn repulsive.
Fucking LED light, my nut sack.
Mark's saying, sorry to
Literally.
hear that. It's not a death in the family. It's not a big deal. We're gonna have plenty of sponsors
So-
coming in and out of here. Speaking of one of them, I actually have to do a read. Not read, but is there something going on here? Hold on. Bleacher
Hold on,
Report.
everybody. There's something going on here. Bleacher Report talking to Dave.
Julius Randle will not play tonight.
I
That's
thought you were
that's
going to say Julian Edelman signs with Bucks.
no, he's not playing tonight. But I do want to give a little special shout out real quick. I'm looking for the email to make sure it's all legitimized and everything going on over there. It's a brand new sponsor came on. He signed on for 6 months. Michael Fusco. So Michael Fusco is one of our new guys. He is like the jack of all trades. I'll get into all that tomorrow with an official read, but he's a financial advisor. He's a really good dude, friend of Joe Pizzamenti of Attitude of Gratitude Consulting. So there is a connection there. So we welcome Michael Fusco. You can actually go to chopsportsmedia.com right now and go to the bottom of the page. His link is on our page right now. If you want to learn more, we'll get into him tomorrow. But what else we got here? There was another thing, Baker, blah, blah, blah. Oh, a couple of little nuggets about the NFL still happening. The Cowboys finally right the wrong with J-Ron Curse. I felt like that was too long, too winded of a time. He gets signed for 2 years. They also are still in on Bobby Wagner, I guess. I don't know. Jamison Crowder. Here's a sneaky good pickup by the Buffalo Bills. So the Buffalo Bills release Cole Beasley, and now they bring in Jamison Crowder, and I think that's a phenomenal
Yeah, he's gonna
guy to
he's
be in
gonna
that
have-
spot.
He's going to have 50 catches, and he's going to have 40 first downs.
Right.
That's what Crowder will be.
Yeah, Crowder's good. Former Jet, former Redskin.
He's always been a back
or
end of my
whatever the
roster
fuck they're
guy in
calling themselves
fantasy
now.
football and a nice plug and play on bye weeks. I always like Crowder.
Yeah. So NFL still busy. So we'll see what happens as the week goes old. But before we get into the NBA and the conclusion of this show today, we have ourselves a read from Dina and Lilac and Sage Boutique. Sure we do. Sometime today.
Maybe. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, Lilac and Sage Boutique is a veteran-owned LEO spouse-operated boutique.
Keep going. Sorry.
Based out of North Carolina.
Chris still hasn't
This
made
is like-
the overlay yet for
Now
this
that Manscaped
over the
is
top
gone,
thing.
Like I wasn't going to laugh through these anymore. Their goal is to continue their service by providing affordable clothing to other hardworking women. They ship orders all over the world. Be sure to check them out at lilacsageboutique.com and join their mailing list so you don't miss out on any new arrivals.
Absolutely. LilacSageBoutique.com. Promo code CHOP10. Get it done. Did you actually go down low just to disappear? That was your commercial break? Oh, okay. They're throwing shit now. Anyway, so that's Lilac and SageBoutique.com. Go check those guys out. Good veteran-owned business. Go check them out. Small business. You got to support small business. If you're supporting Shop Sports, you're also supporting small business. So until we're big business, and then we'll support small business, and then business, and I don't know how many more times I can say business within the next 30 seconds. Business. All right. So, all right. Unfortunately, we got to talk NBA.
Really, unfortunately.
It's down to the nitty gritty here. Okay. We're going to have about 10 games left for most teams. The Lakers are down to 10 games. There's a lot to discuss as far as who's going to win the scoring title this year. So that's a big thing. We'll bring that up first. Who's going to win it? It's down to 3. They are deadlocked, right, Gooch?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I saw two different things. I saw LeBron at 30 flat, and then the other two at 29.8. But then I also saw one where they were all three deadlocked in the scoring title race at 29.8 points per game. So the question, obviously, is who do you think is going to win the scoring title? It's hard to really justify who you think is going to win because up to this point, they're literally the exact same fucking thing. What do we left?
The comment. It's always the Scoop and Kyle show. It's like they're the warm-up show on the side.
I know I'm funny, but nothing I just said was funny at all.
that was funny. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So these three guys are in a dead heat right now for the scoring title, but we are down to, like I said, the last couple weeks of basketball. It looks like the playing game will go down on April 12th. The playoffs will start on April 16th. The West, first of all, this is what drives me nuts. And this goes back to when baseball had the extra wild card. This goes back to all the leagues expanding their playoffs. The playing game right now features a team that is 12 games under 500. Are we done with this
So we're
shit?
talking about the Knicks. The Knicks aren't there.
No,
yet, but
it's not.
But they would be.
In the West,
What are
yeah.
the Knicks 12 games under?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Give or
But
take.
what I'm saying is this is garbage. Why are you letting them play a play-in game? They
Yeah,
suck.
I'm
They
okay-
clearly
I'm
are
okay
not a
with
good
just-
basketball
I'm
team.
okay with just.
And I think I'm talking about the not the Pelicans.
We got fucking 16 teams out of 32 that make the postseason in the NBA. You don't need to give 22 teams an option. The opportunity.
So you're with me.
Yeah, the playing game in the NBA is
The
so
play,
dumb.
no, it's not even a playing game, it's a playing tournament. You know, they got the 7 and the 10 and the 8 and the 9, right? And then the winner goes here and the loser goes here, and then there's another bracket. And there's another. Why are we doing this?
If you want to do something like a play-in thing, maybe you play for the lottery pick. Like instead of having a lottery, have the shit teams play. But the problem with that is you have guys in contract years and their walk years.
They're not going to want to
Why would I
play.
give a
It's
shit?
like a bowl game.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I don't agree. It's 16 of 30, not 32. So it's even more. It's even worse.
Yeah, no.
The higher percentage is 16 out of 30 teams make the playoffs. And now you have teams 18, 19, 20, and 21 all with the
Who
chance
said
to get
32? I don't think
You said 32. Because, yeah, you were talking about NFL.
Run it back. I want to run it back.
What do you mean?
I want to run that back. Run the tape. I don't think I said 30.
You definitely said 32.
You said 30.
Everybody here collectively
fuck
says you
all
said
of
30. So
I know it's 30, guys.
yeah,
It's
Scoop.
embarrassing.
There's the other crazy stat. Only 10 teams don't make the playoffs. So you got to be a bottom feeder of the NBA not to even have a chance to play in this play-in series.
Shout
It's a joke. I don't like it. I know they do it for ratings. They do it for the whole hype of the one and done situation where it's a play-in thing. I get why they do it. Don't get me wrong. It's money. It's endorsements. It's sponsorships. I get it. But this is dumb.
Last year they got
Very
a nice
dumb.
matchup with LeBron and Steph, and that's the reason why they do it. Because of the money. No, it's the money. They're not giving. They don't think that the 13th seed is going to win the title.
But they could.
No, they can't.
Well, actually, they can. So here's the drop off this year. This is the Western Conference.
Western
So
Conference.
you're
Go
telling me the
ahead.
13 seed can win a title?
So here's the sixth seed down to the 10th because the
Yeah, that
ninth
just
and
happened.
10th. Well,
Yes.
So the sixth seed is the Denver Nuggets right now. They're 42 and 30. Seventh seed is Minnesota. They're 42 and 31.
Yeah, so it's tight. Fine.
No, so
Hold on,
so what's the third?
Hold on. So the eighth seed is the Clippers. They're 36 and 37 right now.
Yeah, so understanding all that, that's
The
besides the
Lakers are
point.
the ninth
I
seed.
understand that. I understand.
They can't win the finals.
Absolutely fucking not. I said the 13th seed, and the Lakers right now, as constructed,
Is in the
Bro,
playing game. One of the playing games.
you're telling me that the Lakers are going to run through the Suns and the
Not this year. They look. They're doo doo. They're very
It's not
doo doo.
gonna
I don't
happen.
like that at all. But like,
They're
I
not.
just think again.
Name me a time in NBA history where the 8th seed has won a title.
Oh, I don't know. Off the top
The
of my head,
Miami Heat made the finals a couple years back as an 8th seed, right?
I don't know. You're talking
But
to
they
a
didn't-
Knicks fan, not an NBA guy. Yeah. So like,
So-
I'm more
so-
focused on what lottery pick we're gonna get.
Based on
this
that
year.
fact, until like there's only been like 8 seeds that have won a playoff series.
So then, if they're not, if there's no chance of these teams winning anything, why are they in?
money.
I understand that, but from a competitive nature, why? Like, just say, like, let's pretend that you said that, let's have the bottom teams play for the draft pick, right? And they won't because it's a lottery pick. Some of these teams are going into this playoff going like, we're not gonna fucking win this game. So, do I really want to risk myself too?
I mean, it's an extra game to bet on.
Yes, I understand the logic
Money.
behind the gambler, the viewer.
Yeah, it's
but,
dumb.
like,
It's dumb.
it's
I think everybody across the board, except for TBS or TNT, ESPN, and the NBA.
The Heat were a 5 seed when they went to the finals, by the way.
Oh well, either way. Are you?
Knicks were the last team to be the 8th seed to go to the finals. They lost to the Spurs 4-1.
That was a terrible series. I hate it. It was horrible. David Robinson, fucking
They're the only team, 19.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah. So I
horrible.
don't think a 13 seed is gonna win it.
The highest ever was the Rockets as a 6th seed.
The highest
We need
ever
to get
seed
Rob
win
on
was.
mic next time because I feel like.
I'm
that's
sorry.
like-
I mean,
I'm not. You better apologize, Dave.
sorry. I'm doing so goddamn much around here. You're making graphics. I'm running around. It's like, oh my God. Just
Ben
killed Bambi.
Simmons- Ben
And every time I
Simmons.
want to
So I
jerk the
think-
wheel into a
I think
goddamn
LeBron.
Bridget button.
I think LeBron
Sorry.
wins the scoring title because he plays for a shit team,
Mhm.
and they have a team that has a 0%
I-
chance to win.
Thank you, Dina.
I was gonna
She's
say, I wanna-
segueing us.
No,
Well,
but
no,
I'm
I
just
was
saying
gonna
I'm
throw this
answering the
out here.
question
Oh,
because we talked all that, but we didn't actually pick. who
I
we
don't
think is
have
gonna
the
win.
graphic that you just had up. So when I click something and it's gone, I can't bring it back.
All right,
Oh,
that's fine.
that's okay.
That's
No
fine.
worries.
I think LeBron's
into
going
the
to win.
abyss and the cloud.
I think LeBron's going to win it because that's basically what he's clinging to this season. I think that he knows that there's really no chance they're going to win at all, and there's a chance he doesn't even make the tournament. So what he's doing now is over the last couple weeks, LeBron has been torching the NBA in terms of scoring.
I mean, he went nuts last night.
he put his dick in Kevin Love's mouth last night.
He's getting, like, married this weekend.
Wow, I hope that's
Right?
on his. I hope that's at the altar.
That was his.
Or in your
bachelor
case, a
party,
chuppah?
and that was Kevin Love's bachelor party. He had a male stripper, and it was LeBron fucking force feeding him.
With that song.
Dom.
Oh, what the fuck is that song? Bow, 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 bow. You know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Don't want it.
No.
Yeah,
Pony.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Tony.
yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that's a story, and I'll tell you off air. Can't bring that
So-
song up on air
So
because I got a
LeBron's-
story about
LeBron's
that one.
scoring title. I don't think he's ever won a scoring title in his career, so it'll be a nice feather in his cap for a year that
He
doesn't
actually
make
put the
postseason.
proverbial feather in his cap, ladies and gentlemen.
Ben Simmons is a pussy. He's still not back.
Speaking of
I
Ben
guess we don't
Simmons,
really
yeah,
have to talk much more about that because
I
did
cannot
anybody
get
expect
over
it?
the
It's
compensation.
crazy how
for this
mental
pick.
illness will herniate your discs.
Stop, dude.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Ba-dum.
I mean, look, the trade now is official. The Sixers made out like bandits, if you think about it. They got James Harden. They're about to make a run, and the Nets got nothing because Ben Simmons can't get off the floor, literally. Like, he's just a bum.
That's triggering for Christmas.
Ben has a herniated disc. That's cute. I'm back at work. I have a fractured vertebrae on 2 herniated discs. Wimp. See? And leave it up to Chris Payne to really, really admire most of these NBA
But
athletes,
Chris,
by the
if
way.
they were like, "Nah, dude, you could just stay home. We'll give you $40 million." You'd stay your ass the fuck home too. So,
That's very true.
oh, all right.
What
thanks.
year was that? Not that I give a shit. I was like,
That
yeah,
was
what
probably
year
the
is that?
pre-
And I don't really
Probably
care,
the-
actually.
like the Cleveland year
Obligatory
before he even
question.
left. That was his first contract season, probably. LeBron.
LeBron. All right. Well,
LeBron.
look, that's the NBA for you in a nutshell. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. It's Tuesday, so I want to assume that Kyle might come back here on Friday. I don't know. We'll talk.
we have
talk
a
throughout the
couple
week.
things going on. I know that I've been in contacts with the Toast. I wanted to do like a fantasy baseball kind of breakdown over a 2-day stretch, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm just going to be full disclosure. I'm not ready to do the fantasy baseball breakdown because
He wasn't ready.
I did mock draft yesterday for the first time.
Oh, cool. How'd you do?
12 rounds deep. And then I decided, you know what? I'm not trying to do the research on Jonathan India right now. I'm just trying to go to sleep and watch Top Boy.
Kyle's
in
mad that I ignored all his comments, but there were so many that if I would have brought them up.
Kyle, you're treating this like a Discord,
But
bro.
I want to get back to the fantasy
So-
baseball thing. Around round 10, it started to get a little hairy. And I'm saying this because I am my fantasy baseball acumen
See,
is
we
up
should have
here,
had Manscaped.
right? My fantasy baseball acumen is up here. And I was just 2 years removed because I didn't do a league last year.
No, we were
because of all
busy.
the things that were
We were
happening
kind of
here.
creating a business.
And the year before, it was that COVID season. So I drafted everything, but everything just went to shit. So nothing actually got kept up because it was such a late start to things. And
You have the if somehow, some way, you have the first pick in the draft randomly selected.
so I start off automatically with a pitcher and utility player out of the gate because obviously Shohei's the guy. But we're not going to talk. I'm going to say Thursday, I'm going to have the Toast come on. And
this Thursday.
This Thursday, we're going to do a little
all
bit of fantasy baseball talk because it's, the draft season's now. I know not everybody might be playing fantasy baseball, but you'll at least get some good insight on bettors and who to pick pitching wise and matchups and things like that.
Okie
And
dokie.
also, we might use Toast that opportunity to get into a little bit of the Sweet 16 matchups too.
Toast and Payne became really good friends yesterday on Facebook. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but if you're anybody on the Facebook group, go check out that conversation. That was fun. He's from Alaska. He's a different breed. They're just different. They're bred differently out there. And I think Toast is a phenomenal dude. And I think he's smart as shit. He knows more than any healthy person. There's just, we all have knowledge here in sports, but bro, he just knows what fucking cities these people were born in. So in any event, the tournament gets back to the action on Thursday. So we'll have Toast on for that too.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
Wait,
Is that what you
didn't-
said? Do I space out when you talk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. I wasn't like I was looking at my phone this time. I just drifted. Just oh look, a butterfly.
We were thinking about the fantasy baseball, how you're going to be in trouble around round 8.
Oh, I'm fucking. I am.
you're gonna
I
be
am the
You're
proverbial
gonna be
Toast.
I still need 3 outfielders and 7 pitchers, and I
Yes.
don't even know one player.
Good one here. Danny Grasso coming in. Paz, shout out to your Instagram post yesterday, by the way. Before we wrap this up, Paz put out a post, finally broke a little silence,
Yes.
I want to say. And he basically went out there. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to read it out loud because it was that goddamn good. So Paz went to Instagram. He took to
It made me
Instagram
wanna
yesterday.
run through a wall.
Yeah, dude. Same. Paz is the man, bro. He obviously, we hype him up a lot, and he's a phenomenal wrestler. He just had an off year. It wasn't his year, and now next year he's going to do it. So I'll say this, and I quote, "This year was a rough path for me on and off the mat. But I, as a person, have grown so much in life. I have learned so much about myself through my best moments, along with all of my worst. I will continue to grow and become the best person I could be on and off the mat. I will never stop working. I will never stop learning. I will get faster. I will get stronger. I will get smarter. And I will never stop being me. Hashtag
We
relentless
got the chills check
pursuit."
going on.
Dude, if you listen,
Fucking Paz,
here's the
bro.
thing. If you're a dad right now or you're a mom right now and you're raising your kid to play sports and he gets on social media, have Paz be the first one that person follows, because that dude never stops. He's a fucking locomotive, and we love having him a part of our crew. And we love raising him up to the moon because that's where he belongs. So shout out to Paz, man.
Hey,
great
it's camp
stuff.
season, Paz. We got to talk, right? Let's work out some new merch ideas with Paz.
Just got a text from Chris Payne off air. So breaking. Packers signing Eddie Lacy to play tight. Bro, you see this?
Yeah.
We'll bring that up on socials later. That's a great one. Great text. So anyway, speaking of Payne, he actually hit me up this morning, and he said that he's officially applying for New York Football Jets media credentials
Officer
through
Payne. He's like,
Chop
"No, it's
Sports."
Chop Sports Payne.
Through Chops. Yeah, I was like, "Hey, officer." He's like, "Nope, this is Chop Sports Payne." But yeah, through Chop Sports, he's going to be applying for a Jets media credential for draft season, for training camps, OTAs, everything that the fans have access to. Chop Sports might be on the scene, so something to look forward to. We'll see. So that'll do it. That will wrap things up for Sturch. Gooch, and of course, Dina behind the glass, behind the TV, behind the monitor, behind all that stuff back
Hiding.
there. She's buried. And of course, Rob for joining us with our statistician, Wrestling Rob over here. This has been another episode of the Chop Sports Daily. We will see you guys tomorrow on a hump day.
Oh, God.